back. Hey guys, we're back again. I don't know why we keep getting shut down, but we do this morning. For those of you just joining, we'll ask you if you would go ahead and share this out and build this audience for us. We're on the reservation, White Eagle Reservation, and we were just talking about the community garden as a 12-acre community garden used for the elder program, used for the diabetics, and what were you saying about that garden?
Well, what I was getting, the point is that we grew this huge garden and we wanted to be able to provide tools for our elders, our diabetic program, and for the children at the Head Start. And the grandmothers and grandfathers would bring the kids out and teach them about gardening and teach them about, you know, growing their own food and trying to eat healthy and live healthy. We had a lot of vegetables that were left over after the community got what they needed, and we wanted to market some of those vegetables to the supermarkets in town, and we took them proposal to sell organic. We'd grown everything organically, and we found out that nothing that we can grow on the reservation can be classified as organic because of the contamination from the refinery and from the carbon black plant that's up here. Right now we're driving by part of the power plant, so this is a bunch of power lines and stuff that part of the infrastructure from the Oklahoma General Electric. This is the old Oklahoma General Electric plant that's here. It's contaminated with asbestos and a whole bunch of other good chemicals that kill people, and that is directly on the river. The river's directly below that building that you're seeing there.
You see the disused building at the back? The river runs right behind that.
So I was telling Kevin that we're driving by basically our hunting grounds on each side of the reservation in these two rivers, and the deer, the turkey, the rabbits, the squirrels, and the fish that are in the rivers supplement a lot of our diet, and our people don't have a large income to go and buy a lot of groceries, so there's a lot of families that hunt, and there's a lot of young men that hunt and take the food to families that need it and elders that need it. But when you think about it, that we can't grow organic food on our reservation because the vegetables are contaminated, what that tells us is that all of the food source for this wild game is also contaminated, which means the meat from the game's contaminated and the water's contaminated with the fish kills that we've been having because of the fracking waste being dumped in. So we don't have a way to be self-sufficient or sustain ourselves without contaminating ourselves, and that's a reality here on the Ponca Reservation. That it seems like every time that we try to come up with a new way to promote healthy living or self-sufficiency, we're shot down because of the hazardous waste that's in the ground, the water, and the air.
So just to clarify for the people that are coming in, this is Ponca Nation is not a rich nation. It's an exceedingly it's a low-income area here, so the people don't have a massive amount of disposable income, so they supplement their diet here by growing their own food by hunting. And then because of this, and what's this we're looking at? Because this is gross.
So this is a carbon plant. This is called carbon black. It's the only name I've ever known it by, but it's actually called Continental Carbon, and it's owned by a Taiwanese company. This plant got sued in a class action lawsuit by some residents on the Ponca Nation. There was a community, little small housing just on the other side of this. I'll show you when we go around the corner. And the people that lived in that housing were dying from a whole array of health issues. And there was a buyout that took place. They actually won the lawsuit, and a lot of other people from the south side of Ponca City is a low income side. So there's a lot of Hispanic people, black people, and low income white people that live on the south side, as well as the Ponca people, my people. And our reservation is on the south side of town, outside. So a lot of people joined the class action lawsuit. Some people got a little bit of money. The houses in this community that we're going to drive by over here got bought out, and those people were given a settlement and able to move. Since they moved, almost every single person has died. Everybody that lived in that housing is gone. All the elders and a lot of people that, you know, that weren't elders have lost their lives due to the health issues that occurred from living next to this plant. The carbon particles that go in the air can be airborne for up to 10 days that come out of this plant right here. I mean, it's not healthy for us to be sitting here right now breathing.
I'm not breathing.
If you walk through the grass, I have white tennis shoes on. If I went out and walked through the grass in the ditches right here, it would turn my feet black, turn these shoes black. You can see the trees, the color of the trees, right behind that telephone pole. You see that tree? It's black. That's not the natural color of the bark for these trees. It should be more gray. But these trees are black.
I think I show you. I'll shut the door for you guys. We're just going to walk out here. You can see how dark these trees are. I don't know if you can physically see this yourselves, but you know how trees are usually a light brown? That's a dark. Those trees are clearly a different color. Look at that telephone pole. If you look at the pole itself, you can see how dirty that is. So, and it's just disgusting. It's horrible. And I mean, this is big. I mean, if you just look at the size of this thing. I mean, you're starting here. That's alright. I'm gonna die sometime, folks. We're all gonna die sometime. If it's my time, it's my time. We're gonna jump back in it. Yeah, we're on a schedule, so we don't really want a security stop. But you said this was Taiwanese owned.
Yes, it's a foreign company from Taiwan that owns this Continental Carbon. I was just telling Stephanie that down here to our right is kind of a natural wetlands, a marsh down in the bottom there. And you can see the river through there. Maybe up here you'll see it a little bit.
Yeah, I can see the river. So through these trees, the other side of the trees, they've got the river. And if you, it's hard to see with the camera, but you can see the difference in the color of everything here. It's like got this murky color to it, like it's been dusted in a gray dust, basically.
So there's a lot of animal life, frogs and stuff that are deformed that come out of this wetlands down here, and the deer that live in this area are sick, and they have some type of I don't know, like growths that have been on them. Just weird stuff happening to the animals that drink this water from this wetlands down here, and that live close to this, to this plant.
So look at it, if you just look at the
that plant that we just showed a couple of years ago got a brand new paint job, so everything was like brand new. It looked real nice and blue and shiny, and now it's turning black again. Everything, you can see that tree right there.
Oh my!
That's a cottonwood tree.
God.
So the bark on that tree should be white, and you can see that up on the higher limbs, the new limbs are white.
New limb, yeah, you can. One sec.
The trunk is black.
I don't know if you guys can see that, because you see like about middle of frame right now, there's a white branch. That's the original color of the tree. It's supposed to be where the new limbs coming in. And then if you look at the rest of the tree, you can see that the rest of the tree is actually that dirty brown and black color. Many relatives in Ponca City, and they have skin sores that never go away. Terry Buffalo Head, I see you, and I'm glad I'm able to be here for you, talking about your reservation.
Hey Terry. So I wanted to bring Kevin here, and I feel bad about bringing him and his companion here, knowing that they're being contaminated from the air that they're breathing here. And but I wanted them to see where I live and what's happening to my people. That the environmental genocide that's taking place on this reservation by all these different factors, these different environmental stressors that happen here, are all also a part of environmental racism, because these plants are being zoned by the city of Ponca City, by the city council, and their zoning laws. They zone everything that's hazardous and everything that's contaminable to the south side of town, so that they can poison not only the indigenous Ponca people here, that's our reservations on the south side of town, but they're also poisoning their own people. There's 40,000 people in the city of Ponca City, and the south side of town is the low income side of town. So they're systematically killing off the poor people and the Native American people, and I feel that there's a huge lawsuit that should happen here for environmental racism, and that my tribe, I hope that in the near future, will be suing the city of Ponca City for environmental racism, and suing the ConocoPhillips Corporation for environmental genocide for killing my people. So we're coming up here on the highway. We're going to cross Highway 177, which runs north and south in and out of Ponca City, Oklahoma. If you look over to the right, this is the start of the power plant, or excuse me, of the refinery.
That's what I showed you guys coming into town last night. I showed you the front side of that.
One of the scariest things about this refinery, I mean, the constant pollution in the air is bad enough, and the constant pollution into the ground and the groundwater is bad enough, but there's sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid that's being produced in this plant. If there's a break in one of the cells that is holding the hydrochloric acid, it kills every living thing in a 15-mile radius. So living in an earthquake capital of the world, that's one of our biggest fears, is that we have a big earthquake and it ruptures one of those cells, and the hydrochloric acid leaks out. It not only kills everybody on my reservation, but it kills all 40,000 people in the city of Ponca City and all the surrounding farming communities that are around here. And I mean, how do you tell your kids that? How do you tell the ones that you love that they're basically in a disaster area, and one earthquake that we can't predict when or where it's going to happen could kill us all? And that's one of the realities that we live with here on the Ponca reservation. So to the left is the Ponca Iron. This is a recycling plant, and this used to be in the middle of town, and they found that it was due to the rains and the waters that wash off of everything here. The asbestos was getting into the ground, and a lot of the contaminants was getting into the ground, and it was just really ugly eyesore. So they thought it better to bring it out here to the south side of town and put it adjacent to our reservation.
So what you're telling us is that whenever there's anything that is hazardous, that doesn't look nice, they move it from where it can be seen in town, and they pull it into the south side here, which is your nation, which is also the poorer side of town. And they're constantly doing that, even to the point of moving things that were originally in town and bringing them out here because it's too much of an eyesore for town.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And then we're driving on the back side of the refinery right here. I'm gonna try to drive slow, but I can't really drive too slow, or we're gonna stop at one point up here. But these tanks, you can see the broms that are built around these tanks. They're kind of like a little dike that's built around each tank.
Okay.
Each tank leaks 3% of its holdings. So they build these little dikes around them to contain the leakage. Well, that leakage goes directly into our groundwater. Our groundwater is only 8
But it's only 3%. It's okay.
3%
Wow.
of hundreds of thousands of barrels that are held in each tank. So this is the biggest tank farm in the state of Oklahoma. And if you imagine each one leaking 3%.
So these hold roughly how much?
There's different tanks, but they hold hundreds of thousands of gallons of barrels.
Is that smell again? That is disgusting.
Okay, you can see these signs that we're driving by. They all say restricted area, private property, no trespassing.
You have video stuff.
No, we're fine. People are still. Someone said that.
And so if we drive too slow or we're stopped, we're subject to get harassed by the security. They'll come and say it's a homeland security issue. This is one of the leach ponds that these are usually running, these little concrete things are usually running, and they run down into the ditch, and then they cross this little creek right here and goes directly into the river.
So these concrete things
I want you
here.
to get that sign right there, Kevin.
All right, this is the sign here, just so you can see, guys. This sign says for security reasons. If you can see it, no standing, stopping, parking, or photography in this area. Specific information. Whoa! We'll get the phone number. People, if you want to throw this phone number up, 1-580-767-7130. Someone put that in the comments and ask them why the hell they've got that. What security reasons? They're just hiding. So these dikes you see, these are running off the leaching straight down over the other side onto the farmland right here.
Yeah, there's a little creek that runs through the middle here, and that creek used to be named Spring Creek. On the north side of town, it's called Spring Creek, but on the south side of town, the name of that creek is now Stink Creek.
Spring Creek becomes Stink Creek, and that is.
And when I was younger, we had an epidemic for a long time of the res dogs on the reservation all had mange, so the hair was falling out. And we found that we could take our dogs and throw them in the creek, in Stink Creek, and there was enough chemicals in there to kill the mange, and the dogs would grow their hair back. So that just tells you the amount of chemicals that's running out of this refinery and going into that water is enough to kill the mange on a dog. This is the wheat field that I was telling you.
This is a wheat field?
That's a wheat field. The green that you're seeing out there is winter wheat. That wheat was planted in the fall, and it will be harvested in the summer. So it's winter wheat, and it's inside of the refinery, and that wheat will be harvested and taken to that grain elevator straight over there and mixed in with all the other grain that's grown around this area, and it's going to go into the bread that you eat.
Yeah, who wants some nice fresh bread from Ponca City full of sulfuric acid and petroleum and God knows what else? I agree. I'm sad. It's horrible, really horrible. This is despicable that anyone could be treated like this. That we could put this anywhere on the earth, but to actually be deliberately putting it in one spot, that's just disgusting. So disgusting.
So where we're gonna go now, Kevin, is we're gonna turn south from the refinery, because if we stay up around the refinery too long, the security is gonna come and catch up to us. I try to kind of hit and miss the security when I do these tours. So we're gonna turn south here, and we're gonna change our focus from the environmental genocide that I was just showing you from the refinery to the environmental racism by the city of Ponca City. So we're on our way about 1.5 miles south of the refinery, and we're gonna go to our burial grounds, to the Ponca Tribe burial grounds. And the Ponca Tribal burial grounds was chosen in 1880 as this was one of the highest points on the reservation, and our people wanted to be able to go up there and pray to the four winds and be able to look to the north, to our homelands, to our ancestral homelands, and pray to our ancestors that we had to leave behind. Since that time, the city of Ponca City has chosen this exact site for their landfill. So all of the trash from Ponca City, a 40,000 municipality of 40,000 people, comes out here to our burial grounds, Ponca City landfill. This is the north gate to the Ponca City landfill right here. Maybe we should run up there real quick.
Yeah, we're going to run up to the north gate. Helena, I see you about the Sable Trail. I understand about what's going on in Florida, and that we do need people to notice that. Feel free to put some information in the feed about that. I do see you, and I have been talking about it for you. I can't be everywhere at the same time. I'm sorry.
So we're driving up the driveway to the north gate of the Ponca City landfill, and like I was saying, this, if you can see over here to the left, Kevin, this, everything that's up above this field right here is trash. So that's a landfill, and that hill never used to be there. We call it Trash Mountain. That Trash Mountain never used to be there. We used to be able to come up on the hill. There's a hill on the other side of that where the cemetery is. And that's what I'm going to show you. I don't know why. I mean, if you, even in the oldest westerns, the dumbest old western movies, John Wayne even respects a native burial ground, you know.
So this, what we're looking at right now, is is right by your native burial ground.
Yeah. So the city of Ponca City has no respect for the people from which it derives its name from. All of this that you're seeing in front of you is a landfill. That hill, that mountain right there, is trash underneath there, and they dig holes, and you can see where they're stripping all the dirt from behind us to cover up the trash in front of us. And this hole that's been dug out here in front of us is the dirt that they're using to cover the trash.
I'm going to jump on because it's easier to show them. So what you're looking into right now, that's the hole they've dug out. This is the dump site right here. You can see in the distance. And then behind us is where they're digging everything out from. So if you look behind us, that's where it's all coming out from.
I'm not worried about the city security, the dump security, as much as the refinery security, because they can call Homeland Security on us.
Yeah, we don't want Homeland Security. Yeah, please don't. I'll tell you a story another time where we don't want Homeland Security to come and chat with Kevin right now. It's a great story, guys, and those that have been following me online since Colombia will know all about it.
Yeah, I've had my run-ins.
Oh man, I'm a green card holder and it got stolen in Colombia. There's been a saga since about June of trying to replace it. And actually this Friday I'm supposed to be getting my fingerprints and photographs done for the replacement in Minneapolis. But they told me on Monday, and I said, you know what guys, I can't be there because I'm going to be down here with you guys for this. So yet again I missed my appointment and we send it back through the system to wait for another one. Meantime, if I get stopped without my green card, I get to tell a really long, boring story.
So that was the north gate of the city dump, the city landfill. That gate never used to be there. They only put that gate in about 3 years ago. The gate that was always used, since this landfill was built, is this south gate that I'm getting ready to show you. And one of the things that's really sad is when we Ponca people have been dying at an average rate of 1 per week. On a yearly average, about 56 deaths a year. There's only 3,600 tribal members. So when we lose a relative, we come down this road in a funeral procession. And when you're trying to come up to the burial grounds to bury your family member, and you have to stop and wait for the trash trucks to turn into the dump in front of you, or when the trash trucks don't have enough respect to wait and they jump in the funeral procession, it's just really disheartening. I don't know if you guys can see, but this little waterway, this ditch that's concrete here next to the road, everything that runs off of this dump runs into that.
So just down at the side of the road, what we're talking about here, all the waste from the dump, the water, runs down into this ditch.
And then that ditch goes directly underneath this road and runs into the river right here.
You can just about see the river.
You can see the bend of the river right there.
Yeah, if you look in, I'm just going to zoom in for you guys.
This is some type of a leach pond. I don't know what it holds, but it's got a liner in it. There's a plastic liner. Anything that fails in that liner goes directly into the river as well. So in that river where we're at right now, we're about 2.5 miles north of the community where we started this at this morning. 2.5 miles north of my community of White Eagle, Oklahoma, our reservation. We are on reservation, original jurisdiction, reservation land right now, but it's checkerboarded, it's spotted. Which parts are still reservation land and which parts are not, because of the Dawes Act and when they split our land up and land was sold. That's a whole nother story. But so this is the dump, and
I mean, this is literally